Good evening and welcome to Legislative Week in Review. I'm John Basin.
And I'm Sonia Williams. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we'll update you on the status of campaign finance reform and health issues like the Blue Cross conversion bill.
We'll hear about a court decision that could open the door to rough and tumble judicial elections. We'll check in with key lawmakers on legislation that could make mass transit a reality in urban North Carolina. And we'll touch on other environmental issues, including the marine fisheries bill. But we begin tonight with what may be a promising development in one of the most difficult aspects of large-scale hog farming.
Over the past few years, hog farmers have been under attack for a variety of reasons, from polluting the state's waters to polluting the air with offensive hog odor. But now there's new technology that could change all that. Tonight we take you to the first hog farm in the country to try this revolutionary product as they work their way to an odor-free farm. There's nothing extraordinary about the way Chuck Stokes' hog farm looks. There are plenty of pigs, huge lagoons, and working sprayers. But there is something amazing about the way this farm smells. It's virtually free of hog odor thanks to an Italian product called Micropan.
It works, it's made of enzymes that actually feed on the bacteria. That's their food. That's how the enzymes live.
Micropan is a powdery substance that's sprinkled inside the hog pens by hand. It's 100% organic and has been used successfully in Italy and other countries for the past 8 years.
The enzymes live in the digestive tract of the pigs as well as in the flush gutters of the house, in the bottom of the pen, and in the lagoon. So we're introducing these enzymes into what they consider to be a real healthy environment. So it's not necessarily one place, it's just generally speaking all over the farm.
Since Stokes began using Micropan 5 weeks ago, the odor on his farm has reduced by about 90%. Stokes took a chance on Micropan after several of his neighbors complained about the smell.
Before it would knock you down when you would come out sometimes. There have been times when I would come out early in the morning or late in the evening and be very angry that it had gotten to that point.
But now Brenda Shirley says that's changed dramatically.
But it was a great improvement. The intensity of the smell decreased a lot. It would be a very mild odor when we would smell it, and it has been, I'd say, very minimal in a very short time.
We visited the Stokes farm last year when other hog farm legislation was being considered. I visited one hog house in particular and had to dress for the occasion. Normally, overalls are worn to help prevent workers from spreading germs from one hog house to another. But since I was only going into one house, I wore the overalls to keep the hog odor from settling in my clothes. But since the usage of Micropan, things have been quite different. As you can see, I no longer have to worry about protecting my clothing. Now, there is still some mild odor inside the hog houses, but it's not nearly as strong as it was last year.
It's not completely gone. In the buildings, the front of the building, and a lot of times towards the back, you can catch a whiff or a smell of ammonia, methane. But in defense of the product, Dr. Bonassi suggests that we use it for 60 days before we claim to be odor-free, and we're only into our 5th week.
These positive results impressed even the inventor of Micropan, Dr. Dario Bonassi. The Italian agronomist says the product is safe to animals, humans, and the environment. Bonassi adds, pigs are actually healthier with Micropan because it eliminates bacteria that can kill young pigs and cause respiratory problems in hogs.
We are always researching and developing from the first product. Many things has changed in the composition of the product because of the experience, because of new situation, and so we are always testing and try to increase the efficiency of this product.
Micropan has proven to be effective on many types of farms and even in municipal wastewater facilities in other countries. It's already reduced the level of nitrogen in Stokes' lagoon by 25%. But perhaps what's even more amazing is the claim that the lagoon where the hog waste is stored no longer has a foul odor. I decided to put that claim to a nose test.
There's no smell.
That's the thing that amazed me the most at the very beginning, and it took the smell out totally within a week.
Recently, Stokes, Dr. Benassi, and representatives from Eurovix, the company that makes Micropan, shared these results with a few legislators on the House Environmental Committee. Representative Frank Mitchell visited the farm and was impressed.
With it, I think they've hit on something that we can all live with. We don't know the cost of it yet, but it absolutely amazed everyone there that was at the demonstration how effective it was and how quick it does work.
Still, Mitchell does not believe this new product and its results will have a major impact on environmental legislation this session.
It may help us to get past the hog moratorium a little easier, since we know that we do have a product here that's going to really curtail the odor. And I think once we solve the odor problems, a lot of the other problems will go away.
The actual price of Micropan has not been set, but makers are sure it will be reasonable. Stokes says whatever the cost, it's a small price to pay for something that could mean a more positive future for the hog industry and the environment.
Well, number one, I hope that it will show the general public that most of the hog farmers, 85% of them anyway, are truly interested in finding a solution to the problem of odor. And we do want to be responsible caretakers of the environment as well, and we also want to be considerate of our neighbors. And I'm afraid we haven't gotten that reputation over the last couple of years. So,
Dr. Benassi and representatives from Eurovix are implementing Micropan into the wastewater treatment facility in the city of Greenville. They will also visit turkey and catfish farms to see how the product can be used in those environments.
We continue our environmental reporting in part one of this week's journal. We begin with some words of concern from the chief environmental lobbyist in the General Assembly. Bill Holman works on behalf of the Nature Conservancy, the Conservation Council, and the Sierra Club. Those organizations and others joined forces for a news conference on Monday. Holman told us the House and Senate have both passed some good environmental legislation, but they haven't yet negotiated the necessary compromise versions of any of those bills. Here's Journal Part 1.